Hey everyone, welcome back to another video, and today I just wanted to talk about all the craziness happening with the new Batman game. So, for anyone who doesn't know, they are officially starting to market the Batman game from WB Montreal named, it's probably going to be called Batman Gotham Knights. That's what we think the name is going to be. And so far, they've one of the first things they have done is they now have started a Twitter account for the game, and it's called Redacted, and the two E's are threes. You know what's actually funny about this is that the Suicide Squad game also had a Twitter account, and I noticed that that Twitter account was made in June. So it was made like 2 months ago. And so I was like, okay. And then for a short amount of time, I actually was looking for the Batman Gotham Knights, Twitter account. I was trying Gotham Knights. I was trying Batman Gotham Knight WBM. I was trying all these names, but I couldn't find anything. And then what's funny is the literal next day they come out with this account, and it's literally redacted with three E's, and it's spelled wrong, DAK. Obviously, I think they wanted this to be like so. I think they wanted the spelling to be so weird, just so nobody would discover it, and it clearly worked. Redacted is not one of the words I tried using. And I didn't even think to spell it wrong. You know what I mean? So they did a good job in keeping this hidden because, yeah, this is like the last thing I would have ever looked for. But what they've been doing is they launched a website, and it's continuing this formula that they've been doing. They're still doing cryptic messages. You go onto this website, and it's like you're on like this crazy like conspiracy computer, and you got to put in a code. It's like, oh, enter the code. It's like, welcome back, enter the code. And then when you put in the right code, 761, you get a map of, I guess, Gotham. And yeah, and apparently some people have discovered at some point the word Two-Face shows up, so that's like a confirmation for Two-Face. Apparently something about Batgirl. Here's the thing. I saw people freaking out over this. Oh my god, Batgirl. Oh my god, Two-Face. It's like these guys have been in like every single like Arkham game. Like, it is exciting, but it's just like, of course they're gonna be in this game. I think I'd be more surprised if they weren't in this game. Two-Face and Batgirl, right? I think I would be shocked if they weren't in this game. But yeah. So I just wanted to talk about that. It is exciting that this game is getting revealed, but I don't love this cryptic, like, oh, it's such a secret. It's just like, I don't know. I just hope they don't really do this again. It's kind of annoying. And I am not the only one who feels this way. But yeah, I'm just excited for a new Batman game. I really got to admit that this marketing campaign has kind of made me like almost less excited. Like, I'm so, like, when I think about a Batman game, I'm just like, oh my god, amazing. But it's just this like weird, cryptic, like, you gotta enter in a code, you gotta look at it. It's just like, it's a video game. Yeah, I am by no means complaining, but I'm just saying, I'm just like, I don't know, like, for a video game, this is like kind of weird. You know what I mean? For a Batman game, this is weird. If this was like for some puzzle game or some mystery detective game, and I know Batman has some detective elements in it, but it's just like, this isn't like, I don't know, this isn't some like mystery puzzle game. It's a Batman game. It's an action game. You're fighting, you're flying, you're doing the Predator missions or story cutscenes. It's not like creepy code and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So I feel like this isn't a bad marketing campaign. I just think this is a campaign that should have been for a different game. You know what I mean? I get the whole conspiracy thing. Like, Batman in this game is his enemies are going to be the Court of Owls. I don't really know a lot about them, but I think the main idea is that uh, Wayne Tech, his company, is actually controlled by this group on top, and they pretty much have this group of like assassins that pretty much like make sure everybody stays like silent, that they remain like in control at the top. I think that's what it is, and I guess Batman finds out about it, and then he like tries to take him down, and then of course they send their like owl assassins to like get him. I guess I don't really know much about it. There's a character named Talon. I don't really know anything about. I guess Talon is like kind of the main focus. I guess he's like the main bad guy. So I don't know. I don't know anything about it, and I'm actually happy I don't know anything about it because this game can tell me the story. I've actually been avoiding it pretty much purposefully because I want this to be fresh. I don't want to know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? I don't want to know where the story's going to go. It'll probably be an adaptation from a comic. It'll probably play out similarly as to how it happens in the comics. It's like obviously Batman's going to take him down at the end, but it's like I don't want to know how that's going to happen. So it's like he's got to stop these assassins. Well, he's got to like find out what their weaknesses are, right? And I don't want to know that. I want to play it. I want to experience it. So all very cool. And this game is shaping up to probably, on the surface, this could be the best Batman game ever. What I really liked about Arkham City is that so many Batman villains were in that game. It was incredible. So many Batman villains were in that game. Killer Croc was like sort of missing. Even though he was in the game, he didn't have like a mission. But so many. Penguin was in that game, right? Penguin, there was Two-Face, there was Joker, there was Harley. Yeah, there was the Riddler, there was the assassin guy. What the hell's his name? Victor Zsasz. There's just so many. Hugo Strange. So many. Bane was kind of in the game. That game was just filled to the brim. Ra's al Ghul, oh my god. That game was filled with Batman enemies. But the reason I bring that up is because this game has the potential to do that and possibly more. There could potentially be like every Batman villain you could possibly imagine. And I think that would really be the perfect place to take this game. This should just be like Arkham Knight was supposed to be, and I know this is going to be controversial, but to be honest, the more I think about Arkham Knight, honestly, I really kind of don't like that game very much. Arkham Knight, it's really sad to say, but like, I really kind of don't like that game, like, at all. As a sequel to Arkham City, I mean, it failed big time, in terms of the story. For me, if your game revolves around a story and the story sucks, I'm out. You know what I mean? I thought the story in that game was just not good at all. First of all, I hated that Scarecrow was like a completely different character in Arkham Knight than in Arkham Asylum. I was just, the hell is this? Like, he's like this cool, calculated, like, philosophical, like, I will take you down, and you will live in eternity of fire. Like, I feel like that's not how he was in Asylum, and he's just like this completely different character. You know what I mean? There's something about that I don't like. And in Arkham Asylum, I feel like he was so much scarier. In Arkham Asylum, he was like an animal. He was just like, it's just like he shows up and he's just like, I'm gonna kill you, and he forces you like into a hallucination. But in Arkham Knight, like, he's a bitch. Like, there's a cutscene early on where Batman like beats the shit out of him, and like the only reason he doesn't totally beat him right then and there is because he has like Joker hallucinations, and that to me like ruined everything. Like, literally, it was so early in the game. You know, Batman goes through this maze, he gets to him, and he just beats the shit out of him. And he's like, oh my god, what the hell's going on with you, Batman? You're acting weird. And I'm just like, the fuck is this? I really, everything with Joker and Arkham Knight was like perfect. I've said this before, but like everything else I thought sucked. Honestly. The Bat Tank, I mean, I hated it. I literally just talked about this, but it's like the Bat Tank was good for what it was. It just should not have been in a Batman game. I didn't like there was so much I just didn't like. It just felt like such an inferior game to Arkham City. I don't know. Like even down to like the traversal, like even just going around the city felt better in Arkham City. You know what I mean? Like in Arkham Knight, I don't know. I just like I liked it less. I don't know what the hell they did, but like they kind of effed up. They effed up Arkham Knight like really bad. I don't know. That game just had like a whole vibe that I like wasn't into. It's so sad because I've replayed that game multiple times, like trying to identify what I don't like about it, and I think I just don't like everything about it. It contrasts so heavily with Arkham City. I love Arkham City. I've probably played that game like 20 times. Okay, that's an exaggeration. Less than 10 times. Maybe like 8 times. And I love it. I want to play it again. But Arkham Knight, I have no desire to replay that game because I just don't like it, you know? Yeah, and like their reliance on like these side characters that I know nothing about. Like they decided not to include like big name Batman villains for side quests, you know, just so they can do these characters I've never heard of and don't really care about. Like, you know what I mean? Like when I was doing Man-Bat, when I was doing Professor Pig, so many of the side missions were horrible. Like the fire department thing where you have to like find them and then just fight a brief group of guys and then you have to do it like 100 times. I mean, I thought it was terrible. And then what's the other one? You have to go into this area that's like controlled by this group and then you have to take on a big fight. I hated that too because they were so hard and like it's like I didn't even care. You know what I'm saying? So remember the stupid one where you had like there was like a bomb in the ground and you had to like deactivate it, but it took like 3 minutes. And then during like that time you have to fight like and then you have to do that like 100 times like really I really didn't like any of it. Like really I really didn't like any of it. You know what I mean? It's like they just didn't know what they were doing. I thought the Two-Face one was like good because the Predator missions in the game are like pretty good. There's a great video that talks about all of this. It's a Godzilla Mendoza. It's how he talks about Arkham Knight was a big disappointment. I mean, he captures all of this perfectly. He perfectly illustrates the fact that this game is just like almost everything about it is just like what? It's just like what the hell is happening here? So I'm sorry. Like I want to like Arkham Knight, but I just can't. Like so much of that game is just like terrible. It almost feels like they gave the game to somebody who just didn't even play like Arkham City. And they were just like, oh, let's do all of this, except do it 800 million times. It's like, oh, the combat's really good. Let's make you fight 8 billion fights. Oh, we're going to develop this new Bat Tank. Okay, do that 8 billion times. So I bring up all this because I want to say I hope they don't do a single thing from Arkham Knight. Honestly, throw that entire game in the trash. Take all the inspiration from Arkham City. Don't touch us. Like did I like anything from Arkham Knight? Like, I don't think so. Like, you remember that Fear takedown where, like, you take down, like, 5 people? Like, immediately before the Predator mission even starts? It's like, I don't like that. It's like, I want to go and do a Predator mission, hide, and it's like, I don't want them to know I'm there. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Like, what? Like, why is Batman taking out 5 people the second he shows up? You know what I'm saying? Half the fun of Predator missions is you being able to take out, like, multiple guys, and then you're, like, halfway done in the room, and then it's just like, oh shit, like, half the room, half the people are missing, and then the last 3 or 4 guys are like, oh god. It's like, I don't want to take out half the room in one swing, and then it's like, oh, well, now there's 11 guys here, and they all know I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know if this is a real complaint, but, like, I didn't like any of that, and they're going to bring that back. Like, I doubt they'll be throwing anything in the garbage from Arkham Knight. They'll probably trash the stuff we didn't like, but they'll probably keep a bunch of stuff. But yeah, look to Arkham City, okay, for the inspiration for this new game. Is there anything I want to say? Yes, so I've been speculating a lot. I've been looking back on Arkham Origins because it's the same developer, and I've been looking at kind of what I think we can expect. Like, in terms of content. So yeah, this is kind of like my Injustice thing. So I think it's highly likely that NetherRealm will develop a mobile game for this new game for, you know, mobile devices. It'll be, they did that with Arkham Origins. They created a mobile game that was kind of like Injustice, and I think it's off the App Store now. I think you can't even download it anymore. So yeah, they did that last time. They didn't do that with any other game except for WB Montreal. I can 100% see them. I can 100% see them doing that again. Rocksteady made a mobile game too. I think it was called what was it? It was called like Arkham Asylum Unchained or something. It was something like that, and like nobody played it. Nobody played it. They literally got rid of it, and like nobody noticed for like months because like nobody played it. I didn't even know it existed. But yeah, so I think they're going to make a mobile game. It is my theory currently. I think there's 2 things happening. I think Injustice 1 is going to become like Injustice 3 or whatever. Or it'll just get revamped in some major way. Because Injustice 2, I feel like that game's identity is Injustice 2. Like, I feel like they're not done identifying with that game yet. You get what I'm saying? There's still like a bunch of characters that are not in the game yet. You know, and then look at Injustice 1, every character from Injustice 1 is in that game. But Injustice 2, not every character is in the game. So, am I wrong about that? I think not every character is in the game. I guess I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure there are some that are missing. Well, like maybe the Ninja Turtles, but maybe they just can't put them in the game. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe oh no, yeah, there's no Atom, right? There are some missing characters. I just feel like they're not done identifying with that game yet. So yeah, it is my belief that they're going to continue identifying with Injustice 2 for like 2 more years. And this is like a good cycle. Like, honestly, this is a good cycle. It's like Injustice 1 can become Injustice 3. And then in 2 years, Injustice 2 can become Injustice 4. And then Injustice 1 can become Injustice 5. Like, this, I feel like this is a totally fine cycle. The games play completely different, right? So, yeah, that's what I think. The games play so different. Like, Injustice 1 does not, like, take over Injustice 2, and Injustice 2 doesn't take over 1. They're, like, so different. So, yeah. So that's what I think. I think NetherRealm is developing a mobile game for Arkham for the new Batman Gotham Knights. And NetherRealm, I want you to hit me up on that because I think I'm the only person talking about this. And when it does get revealed, can I get some credit for knowing that this is going to happen? And then when Injustice 1 becomes Injustice 3, which I find highly likely at this point, or maybe it doesn't become Injustice 3, maybe it just continues to be Injustice 1, but with like a new feel. You know what I mean? Maybe they drop the Gods Among Us. Maybe they just call it Injustice, right? Although I feel like the chances of them identifying with 3 are a lot higher, but this all goes in the garbage if it's like Marvel versus DC, which I don't think is happening. I think it's more likely that we would get just a complete Marvel fighting game. And I think that is what they're preparing for in the next game. I think this upcoming game is going to be Injustice, and then I think the game after that is going to be a Marvel game. The reason I think that is because Mortal Kombat 11, very oddly, it seems like they're just trying to stretch out the content like for a long time. And I think the reason they're doing that is because I think they know that they're about to do Injustice and then Marvel. So that's 4 years. Which means the next Mortal Kombat game won't be 6 years from now. So that's a long time. And they realize that they probably want to make sure that we're like so filled with MK content that we could survive 6 years without Mortal Kombat, right? So that's what I think. I think we're getting Injustice, and then I think we're getting a Marvel game, and then 6 years from now, I think we're going to get Mortal Kombat 12. And I think by then people are going to really be like, oh my god, we missed this series so much. I think right now people don't care about it at all, and I think in 6 years people will really care again. So I think that's what they're planning. I no longer think it's going to be Marvel versus DC. I think they just want their own fighting game. That's what I think. And there's evidence backing that. Ed Boon was like, he was asked about that and he was completely hesitant to answer that in any way. Like, there's a difference in Ed Boon when he gets questions about stuff and he's just like, of course, that would be cool. Of course, we would love to see that. We love that game. We love this. We love that. But when Ed Boon was asked about Marvel, he literally was like, and he's like, I can't really talk about that. So there's such a clear difference. Like like one time he was asked about Scorpion right in Smash, and he was like, yeah, I love Smash. You know what I mean? It would be so cool to see something like that. Like, so cool. He didn't seem like he was under some sort of contract. He had to be like, dude, I can't talk about this. Dude, they'll kill me. They'll shoot me. I can't talk about this. But when asked about Marvel, he was just like, I can't really. He's like, maybe I'll be able to talk about that one day. Because he knows that Disney is like, bruh. He knows the mouse is hiding in the corner like, you better watch your words real carefully. He knows Mickey Mouse is hiding in the corner with a gun. He's like, he asked him about the Marvel game we're developing. And he's like, you better not say anything or I'll kill your ass. He's got Mickey and Donald in the corner. However the fuck Donald Duck sounds. And Goofy. Gosh! You better not fuck this up, buddy. Alright, I think I'm done. I'm going delusional. Alright, thank you guys for watching. Yeah, I think a Marvel game is next. This has just been my thoughts. I should do like a podcast. I could talk for like an hour about this. Do you guys want the Tower Games podcast? That would be easy money for me. Easy money. I could do it once a week. It would be money. Alright, that's it. I'm so sorry for talking for 8,000 years. But yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching. Keep watching my videos and keep subscribing. Keep liking it. And that's it. So thank you. I'll see you in the next video. Keep on fighting. Have a fantastic day.